Want to make your watercolor paintings more lively? There are a couple of useful things to know about color that'll really help you make that happen. Let's have a look. I think color is one of the things that really draws us to painting in the first place. But you can end up doing something like choosing a lovely bright color, like maybe a happy sunny yellow, and thinking that that's going to give you a really lively painting. And of course it is, it's a bright, happy color. But somehow it doesn't quite come to life and leap off the page. And that's partly because this is one dimension. It's a completely flat color. And, that's an illustrative style and it gives a certain vibe. But maybe that's not what you're going for with your watercolor paintings. Now, just by switching to watercolor, you've already helped yourself out because when we use watercolor, it's the water that really puts the magic in it because the water makes the pigments disperse and they will settle in various ways on your page, which means that you've automatically created some variety. Let me show you what I mean. So we can start with our bright, happy yellow color, let's say. But just because we've got different amounts of water and pigment, all sorts of things can happen. You're going to get little shapes and marks appearing, and it's just because of the way the pigments are going to settle in the water. And you'll find different colors will behave in different ways. That's because each color of watercolor paint is made with a different recipe by the manufacturer, and some of those pigments will have different properties. I've got another video all about that. I'll probably link it in the description down below. Now, one of the reasons that this little shape is going to look a little bit more interesting than this one is because there is a difference in value. Value is just a name for lightness and darkness. And because we've got lighter areas where there's just more water or less paint, more of the paper is showing through. So it's like we've added white to the color. If we put down our color, that'll be its most intense form. And then as we add water, it will soften out and create all sorts of different values. And that's going to happen with any color we choose. And this is one of the rather marvelous things about watercolor is that we really enjoy seeing the movement of those pigments. This is why actually painting in watercolor is the most fun because you get to watch this little dance of pigments on the paper as you paint. Of course, the finished result is probably pretty and lovely, but really it's about the actual painting process and the sheer joy of that sort of thing. But let's get back to our story about shading. So if we wanted to make this color a little bit more interesting, we can start with the most subtle approach, which is to introduce a little bit more water and make a paler version of that same color. But we can also work our way around the color wheel and add extra colors. So if I want to make my yellow more yellowy, I can look for a color that is beside it on the color wheel and add a bit of that. So let's say we wanted to have something that's yellow, but I wanted to give a little bit more darkness. I can go and find, in my palette, I happen to have a darker yellow. This is called quinacridone gold. So I could add a little bit of that, and that will deepen the color. I can go further around the color wheel and be even more dramatic. Let's say I start with my yellow, but I don't have another yellow. I've only got an orange. Well, I can add a little bit of that. And that will also give me a lovely effect. And here I prefer to do most of my mixing on the page rather than on the palette because I love the effects that happen. This is what I'm saying. I just enjoy watching those effects. And as it dries, you're going to get some granulation and it's far more interesting to look at than if I had mixed the yellow and the orange together on the palette and then painted with the color. I'll end up coming back to something that's a bit more like that. Now, if we want to be even more dramatic or make that even darker, we can keep working our way around the color wheel. What about that lovely red? I could put in a little bit of that. And I'm just adding it to my same strip because while the pigments are still wet, they're still going to talk to each other rather beautifully and make these lovely transitions. So this is a really bright, colorful way to bring your paintings to life. You can see here, this is very vibrant, intense color. But there's another way that you can go about altering the color to change the values and to help you mold a form. And that's by playing with something we call saturation. You can see it a little bit with this one, I think. Instead of going with brighter but deeper colors, we can actually desaturate the colors or make them slightly grayer. There's lots of different words for the same thing. Saturation is also described as chroma or intensity. So far, we've used colors that are sitting next to the yellow on the color wheel. And we can see that the effect that we're getting is the most subtle when it's colors the most similar to yellow and more dramatic as we move around. And so that obviously means that our effect is going to be the most dramatic when we choose the color that is directly opposite yellow on the color wheel. And that is purple. What happens when you mix a color with its opposite is they kind of cancel each other out. So I'm going to take this purple and I'm going to put it in there. Let me put it a little bit more intense. And then you'll find that where they join together, they make a muddy neutral. So here you can see the yellow and its opposite or complementary color, purple, have made have sort of cancelled each other out and made a kind of gray. Now, obviously, there's so much nuance in this, and this is why these colors that we affectionately tend to call muddy colors can be so interesting, because obviously you can change it quite a lot just by varying the proportion of yellow to purple. Now, I keep saying that we can use these changes in saturation and value to mold the form. So let me show you what I mean with a circle. We can take a circle and instead of coloring it in one single flat color, let's apply some of these techniques and turn it into more of a ball in a bright, lively, colorful way. So let's stick to our yellow. And I will pop in a base color of yellow. And it always pays to be quite bold with your watercolor paint because it dries lighter. So you might find that you're always wishing that you'd been a little braver with the color. So what I'm trying to do here is show some light coming from this side. So let's pretend we have a little sun this side shining down onto there. We're going to have a lighter area. So here we've got our really subtle effect, just using one color and a bit more water. Let's make that impact a little bit stronger by adding a little bit of my quinacridone gold. Now that's this color that it's a yellow, but it's a deeper yellow. It's moving towards yellow-orange. And because my paint is still wet, I'm able to move that around and it's going to settle. You do have to be a bit careful when you're fiddling around like this, because you don't want to change the consistency of the paint to water. That ratio is quite important. But for now, let's just concentrate on the color. So that's already made our little ball look a little bit more round, as opposed to the flat circle. Let's be more bold. Let's try it with the orange. So I'm putting the darker version of my yellow, which in this case I'm saying is my orange. And I like to go back and add a little bit more pigment if I'm finding it's not smoothing out, but usually it's just me being impatient. And then let's skip along and be more bold. So I've been using yellow, then we went with more of a gold color. Then I popped in the orange, somewhere around that range. But my favorite is the red violet with this just because I happen to know that the red violet that's in my palette really works well with this beautiful orange. So I'm going to drop a bit of that in. Oh, because that just makes my heart so happy. And I'm trying not to touch the wet paint too much. I don't want to really scrub it and mix. I prefer it when the colors sort of disperse and settle out. And what happens is this would be sort of the darkest shadow. And this is, let's say this is where our little ball is sitting on the table. So I want to make this nice and strong down here. And just because it's fun, I'm playing with my paint here.
Remember I was saying it's best to be bold? I think that's part of what I wish I had done here. But it's also good to know that you can add extra colour while your paint is still damp. It's best not to fiddle too much, but while the paint is still wet on the page, you do have a fair bit of opportunity to add extra colours and smooth things out. Although, for my mind, the best effects is when you don't touch it too much and you let the watercolour paints settle where they will. And that's how you get that kind of loose, fresh, lively feel. But it's a reason not to be scared of the colour, because you do have a lot of chance to make these little adjustments like I'm doing right here.
Now you can really see the difference it makes when you add different intensities of your color and start playing with the color wheel a little bit more to turn our flat circle into this really three-dimensional shape. And I've kind of stopped at the red violet there. If you wanted to, you can go a little bit darker. I did one here, and there I've actually used a proper purple, a violet, as opposed to the red violet. So there's so much nuance you've got to play with there. Once you get the hang of playing with your color like this and using it to mold the forms, you'll be surprised at how many times you find these simple shapes in whatever painting subject you have. Recently in the Happy Painters Hub, we painted a little rubber duck together, and it was using exactly these colors and exactly these ideas to turn him from a flat plastic shape into something lively that looks like we might just be swimming across the tub. And if you're enjoying diving into color, you might want to watch this video next, because it's all about a color that you might have really struggled to mix in the past, and it's going to tell you exactly why that is and what to do about it.